Hey, you. How much for that base Pokemon set box?
1,000.
But it was $45 of resale.
Okay, for you, 1,500.
Wait. You just told me $1,000.
You know what? You're wasting time. Market went up 2,000.
Are you fucking serious, dude?
Okay, friends and family discount $4,000.
I'll fucking take
it. Anyways, welcome back to the Dos Leches podcast, the perfect mixture of cream, cinnamon, and stupidity. I'm your host here, Steven, with my co-host, Lennon. Say what's up, Lennon.
How's it going, everyone?
And to my right, we actually have our trial and error with video podcasting. I know it's pretty, actually, it's more common than I thought.
Video podcasting?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, people want to see a face and put a voice to it.
Yeah, a voice to the face. So we're trying it. We're attempting it. We have a beautiful California sunny day. By summer, it will all be on fire again.
It's currently still kind of like winter because it's windy.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the summer, it's just dead. Everything's dead.
This is cold to Californians. Like if you don't live in California, this is what we consider winter.
We consider this a nice spring.
A nice
Spring minus the rain.
Actually, yeah, California we don't get winter. We just get spring.
We get summer, spring, fall, winter.
Dude.
Or fall, winter, spring.
Spring, fall, summer.
we skip over winter. We get really cold, and then that's
Santa Claus wears swimming trunks and he rides a skateboard to every little kid's house. And he only brings you Vans Authentic.
Yeah, he wears Vans. He wears a Huff t-shirt and some Obey pants.
Oakley sunglasses.
Yeah, like the thin one.
And a 5-panel dad cap. 5-panel. No fitteds in California, even though I'm wearing my fitted. I love fitted hats.
You stole that from New York, probably.
I stole Air Forces. I stole fitteds. I stole cargo pants. I love New York, man. The aesthetic that is New York, awesome. Shout out Fat Joe, Terror Squad, Mayor, DJ Clark Kent. All those guys are like my idols when it comes to fashion, music taste. Wu-Tang Clan. I grew up on stuff like that.
Let's go to the East Coast at this point. Just move over there. You'll fit better.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave. No, I like the aesthetic, but I don't like the weather. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you're not gonna go over there in the middle of March and think it's early February. Dude, it's fucking cold.
It's cold in New York. When I went with my family, the second or third day, it started snowing a little bit, and I would see people running in shorts, and I'm over here in a puffer jacket. Freezing, and they're looking at me like I'm weird. I'm like, you're in snow running. You're fucking weird, not me. You're weird.
They look at you like Californians.
Yeah, no, they definitely looked at us and went, running. "Oh, California much?"
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, yeah, I went for my 8th grade field trip, and my friend I bought a beanie from the street vendor, even though I wasn't supposed to.
Why?
Because they're like, okay, we're gonna go to the store, and we're gonna buy everything there. Don't buy anything off the street vendor. But this guy gave me a sick ass deal for $10 for a beanie that said DC on it. I was like, I'm not passing that shit
Wait,
up.
DC
Washington DC on the beanie. I still have it.
Were you in New York or Washington?
We're in Washington.
Oh, I thought
we're in the East Coast.
Yeah.
Area.
Okay, I thought you were in New York. I was like, why would you buy a beanie from?
Well, I bought the Washington DC beanie there, and then we went to New York eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
But my friend's ears were bright red, and I was like, "Here's, fucking take it, dude. Your ears are gonna explode at some point."
Yeah, no,
it was fucking
it's
cold.
cold.
It was negative something.
I've been in negative 49 degree weather, but it was only negative 49. So we were leaving. It was negative 49.
From where?
We were in the mountains somewhere. I honestly can't remember. But as we were coming down, it started going up negative 3, and then we were at 0 for a while, and then it was 10. And gradually, as we got closer back to California,
to civilization,
LA, it was good. Yeah.
But
it was just like a Zack Snyder movie, Desolate Land. But for this episode, we are actually diving in to that scenario that we played out in the beginning, um, victim versus reseller.
I want my fucking, I
Oh
want
my
my
fucking
graphics card, bitch. Give it to
But
me.
before we get to that, we're gonna go back to returning segments. What do you call it?
Top of the week?
Top
or-
of the week. And did you have a show or movie or no? Not really.
Not really.
Man, I didn't really either. So we'll just skip that one. But what did you buy this week?
So I bought hiking shoes because I've been getting into hiking recently. I've been trying to hike twice a week, and my Adidas, the one my Adidas, I've been wearing those for hiking because they're the most fucked up shoe I own.
He wears, and I kid you not, Adidas Sambas to hike. And that's not a bad thing. It's
And
just a really bad thing.
No, it's a really bad thing.
Because it's flat, it's a skating shoe. And obviously your feet are gonna kill you, dude. Like you probably had blisters, right?
Nope.
No blisters?
And we did pretty good hikes, like at least like 300 feet in elevation most of the hikes.
It's crazy.
I went to Joshua Tree with those shoes, and I hiked all that.
Actually, a lot of people do that. I could see that. A lot of
Did-
people go
did
to
I-
Joshua Tree in like vans.
Someone went to Joshua Tree in Yeezys, bro.
Yeah.
I told you about that. It
Which
was-
makes me I've never been to Joshua Tree, but whenever I see people post pictures of Joshua Tree, like, by the way, I don't know what is there a trend right now with Joshua Tree?
people like taking shrooms there. I don't know.
Because Joshua Tree for like the past month has been on like every person's like story. Like they hike, like they drive up there, they take a picture near the
Because like
sunset.
for here it's like 2 hours away. It's not that far. So it's like you could do a day trip
Yeah.
there.
No, yeah,
Because that's what I did. We took a day trip and we got back at like we left at like 8. We got back at like 9.
Mhm.
So we took 12 hours.
yeah.
The whole round trip. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And it was like sunny, but it wasn't hot. It was
Mhm.
very windy.
Yeah, I
And
bet.
so it was perfect to hike.
So what did you buy? What hiking boots?
They're called Salomon 3s. They're like it's just a break base shoe that you could tighten with like a string, but they have spikes at the bottom with like tire traction on them. So
So you won't die.
so I won't die. Like when I took my Sambas out and we went off the trail. We didn't stay on the trail. We went off the trail. We were climbing rocks. I nearly died. I cut my hand like it's not even there anymore. But I cut my hand open. With the-
all the cap in the world. Can't even show the scar.
I mean, it wasn't a bad one. It just cut and it started bleeding. And then I cut my knees a little bit and I cut my shoulder somehow. I don't know how the fuck I cut my shoulder though.
No, you probably fell.
No, I didn't fall. I probably scraped it when I was trying to get through like a crevice, like about the size of my fucking body.
Jeez.
It was fun.
Oh yeah. So you like them? Have you taken them out yet?
Yeah, I've taken them out for like, I got them as soon as like when I left last podcast on last Sunday.
Yeah.
And I went with a friend and we went to REI, and the one over in Arcadia,
Mm-hmm.
and we bought it there. And then I've used it at least twice.
What's the
Price?
no? What's like the what do you call it? Is there a difference? Do you feel?
Compared to like just any day like shoes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. They're super comfortable. But like the traction's amazing. Like I was going on an incline like this where it was just concrete because we're going down like I guess like where water would run down to like a thing.
Mhm.
And I was like this and I didn't slip. I could put my feet like this and I wouldn't move whatsoever. So that's how good the traction was.
How much were they?
135.
That's not bad. That's not bad. So as we talked about earlier, I do like a lot of New York style, and New York is big on the 5950. So I've been trying to find a 5950 with a green bottom
Hmm.
and a white lining, and apparently that's the hardest thing in the world to find. I at least for me, like I can't seem to find them. But I started very slowly getting into like the hat world and like figuring out what's what. And the other problem I have with 5950s is this crown part.
Hmm.
This I think it's called like Bergstrom, like the material that they put to keep it.
Flat.
Well, no, like to keep it like like flat but high.
Hmm.
is it's only the front two panels. But I've noticed that there's a lot of people who like there's ways like the reason I don't like the 5950 is because sometimes they come out like super square. Like it literally looks like just a freaking rectangle on your forehead.
Yeah.
And I don't technically have a big head. I wear between a 6 and 7/8, which is like the biggest kids size,
Mm-hmm.
and a 7, which is the smallest men's size. So
I
I've got
I wear.
I've got a small ass shit head,
Mm-hmm.
but mix that in with the fact that what do you call it? With that big square, it looks funny on me. The regular ones.
Mhm.
So I watched a few videos. I figured out how you can like shrink that or make it look smaller, kind of round it out.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I know that, what I did is I took to the internet. I found a New York 1991 patched green bottom cap.
Oh, okay.
So I found it on lids as well as a Dodgers, because I don't have any Dodgers things because I'm not a Dodgers fan. I'm a Red Sox fan.
You just go with the fucking Yankees cap.
Yeah, I know. I'm not supposed to wear Yankee caps as a Red Sox fan, but I'm not a diehard Red Sox fan. Like I've only liked but no, yeah. So, I found the cap. I got it in my right size. Instead, the first time I got it was a 7. This one's a 6 and 7/8. So hopefully it fits. But I'm excited for that one, and I like patches too. Like the camera can see, but I have a patch here.
Oh yeah. The postseason.
The postseason. Do patches on it? Like I don't know what it is about patches, man. They make a baseball cap look way cooler. Plus, fitteds are structured, and I like structured my life. I like rules and regulations.
I mean,
I want to live in 1984.
I never liked. Well, I never not liked them, but I never wore them.
Well, I used to hate them because I never knew my hat size. I have a hat in there that's 7.5, and I look, I can stick a fist in between my head and the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to say, like, who got me this? I remember getting that when I was like 10, like in middle school. So I wanted to ask, would you think my head this big?
Yeah, because you have a big ass head.
Thought it'd get bigger? It wasn't. It's the same size. It's small. But that's all I got. So I'm excited for that. The LA hat. It has a pink under brim. I guess pink is cool.
Pink is cool.
No, like pink is cool now. Like in like the under brim. So the main colors that everyone wants are gray and green. And so, anyways, that's all I caught. 2 hats. Both of them were on discount, which was awesome. So it was like 15. Each one was like $10, and then they had free shipping. So
there you go, free shipping. Wow.
Exactly. But anyways, on to today's topic. The hard question: reselling. We'll start with what is reselling. Basically, I think everyone's experienced it in their life, even if you don't know what it's called.
Like Let It Go. I'm pretty sure people bought stuff off of
yeah,
Let It
if
Go.
you've been on Let It Go, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, reselling is basically when one individual has stock of some kind of consumer item, and then in itself, again, resells it, right? Because it was sold to them, and then they resell it to another consumer. Usually, it's at a higher price, but
sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's
used. Sometimes it's under market, and that's the other word that might come up a lot. It's market. Market is basically what Lennon and I dictate it's worth, or what you guys dictate it's worth. So for me, in the world of sneakers, shoes, if a shoe retails for $100, I'm willing to pay that. That's the market value. But if somebody comes next to me and says, "Hey, no, I'll give you $200," market value will even out at about $150, right? Because there's 2 of us, and so eventually, the more whatever basically someone's willing to pay is what market is. I mean, you know that firsthand with your graphics cards. Lennon's not willing to pay $3,000.
I'm not willing to pay $1,500 for a graphics card that's worth $300.
Exactly, right? But people are, right? There
Yeah.
are people who buy it. So reselling in itself, do you think reselling in itself as a practice, is it problematic?
It's not problematic unless you put it to the point where you're trying to sell something 5 times its market value, or 5 times its what's the word I'm looking for? The price that it's supposed
five times market or 5 times retail.
5 times retail
Yeah.
value. That's where my issue comes in. If you
Yeah.
pay an extra like $100,
Yeah.
150, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The shoe market does that.
Yeah, all the time.
I mean, what's the like, unless you're getting like the Dior Jordans, which
Yeah.
was what, but that was like people want it. It's made with better stuff, wasn't
Made
it?
in Italy. Well, made no. Wait. Quotations were placed wrong. Made in Italy with better materials.
No,
I
yeah.
mean,
And so it was what, like a $200 shoe?
no.
It was $1,000 shoe.
$2,500 shoe.
And then it's
retail, and
10,000?
now it's about $10,000 depending on your size.
Yeah, so that is kind of understandable. But if you're coming with a graphics card
Yeah.
that people are gonna make within the next couple months,
Yeah,
and you're selling it for 5 times, I
like
okay.
PlayStations and Xboxes right now. Like
Yeah.
$1,000 for PlayStation 5. In reality, all we kind of have to do is keep waiting and waiting.
is
and
waiting like 6 more months.
And again, they'll drop another one. You could try to get it then. But I feel like the hard part is
Bots.
the world of bots, right? That's just eating up everything in such a high quantity. And that's the other thing. I think for me, I'd agree with that. My only thing is, I think it becomes problematic in the sense of maybe where it hinges and hurts, whatever you want to call it, that community, that culture, is when you're doing it on like mass quantity levels.
Like you're buying a bunch of them at once.
Yeah. The reason we're doing this is, and leading back to making millions, Nike had a situation with their prior VP of Northern California. Mind you, that's a big position. She was the head of North America as a continent.
Mm.
Okay. Ann Herbert. I actually heard someone say her name was Ann Herb.
No, it's Ann Herbert.
That's what I'm just gonna pronounce it that way. So like, if you want to spell it, but somebody did say it's Ann Herbert or Ann Herbert. Like it sounded very different than Herbert. But anyways, Ann Herbert was working for Nike for 25 years. So 25 years is a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Especially because she started from the ground up. I mean, from sales at her local Nike to
all the way up.
VP.
Yeah.
The situation was her son, Joe, was a reseller. He had a business known as West Coast Shoes or West Coast Streetwear.
Joe?
No.
What the fuck, dude?
Joe Herbert had a reselling company known as West Coast Streetwear. It was an LLC that his dad helped him set up when he was, I think, about 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
When he turned 18, he signed over the company to him. But the real issues with this, because you might think, well, who cares? It's a kid making money. He's hustling. The real issue comes with the next part, because in 2018, there apparently was an investigation by Nike where they looked to see if there was any issues of what do you call it? I forget what the word would be called. If there's just any issues, if there was any possible what do you call it?
I don't know.
I know. I'm stuttering now. If I stutter, by the way, can you do that thing from Happy Gilmore where he goes, "Today, Junior"?
Today, Junior.
You can't do a person saying it can't stutter.
You can't.
Just say it. It's like 3 times, I think. But anyways, they did the investigation. They said, okay, there was no foul play. There was no
controversy.
No, there's no confliction of interest or contract. Yeah, whatever.
Big words.
Big brain. Anyways, there was no conflict of interest. That's the word. I've been trying to think
Ah,
of
you're
it.
so smart, Steven.
So there's no conflict of interest.
Okay.
And they just kind of brush it off, right? This reporter comes in from Business Insider, interviews Joe Herbert about this kid making money. Mind you, he's bringing in $250,000 a month. Okay, keep that in mind.
That's a lot of money.
Just keep that in mind.
That's a lot of money.
For a little later down the road, we're gonna come back to that stop. And as he's showing him his stuff, the reporter gets a whiff of his last name, and he Googles it, and apparently, Ann Herbert comes up. He calls the kid on the phone, and apparently the phone number that the kid gave him is for some reason his mom's phone number, or relatively, similar in that sense. So the reporter, no matter what, at the end of the day, puts two and two together. Oh, you're Joe Herbert, Ann Herbert's kid, Ann Herbert, VP at Nike. And you can kind of see that he's painting a picture in his head. You're getting not only one, not only two, not only 10, you're getting hundreds of pairs of Off-White Jordan 5s, UNC Jordan 1s. You're getting, every kind of release you can think of. But he's also so he's wondering, okay, how did we get to that point? So Joe's story is basically, he started by going to the discount store in Nike. This is also problematic, right? He's going to the employee discount store. He's going to Nike outlet stores, and he's getting pairs by the hundreds at discount, and he's selling them in a local cook group that he created. And the cook group is basically a website, like a Discord,
Okay.
where people pay a membership. It can be $5, could be $300 for the ability. Keyword is ability to cop sneakers, because usually the server provides bots for you.
Oh, okay.
Or to learn tips and tricks of how to resell, right? So these kids he had two groups. He had his premium one, which was I think $150, $160 a month.
Okay.
Which is whack as shit. And then the other one was a discount group. And in the discount group, he would sell his discounted shoes that he just bought for an even smaller, just for a little bit above or whatever, a lesser margin than what they were selling for at market to these people, and then they would go and make whatever profit they could. But as his story's starting to get told, a lot of this reporter is again painting this picture of, so this kid's mom works for Nike VP. He's going and getting big discounts from Nike outlets, and he's buying shoes from the Nike employee store. Doesn't take an Albert Einstein to put the idea that, so this kid, his mom might not be, necessarily going, hey Joe, here's an Off-White $5, but she might be telling him there might be an exclusive drop at 1 a.m. If you're on the app already, it'll load for you, right? She might be dropping him hits, or she might say, oh, this is my discount code, my VP discount code, right? And so basically, as this story progresses, we start to learn he's using his mom's credit card too.
No, yeah.
Which is where it kind of gets crazy, because the mom says, well, I didn't really know that what he was doing. It's like, wait.
Before you go on that, is there no one checking where they're buying? Like, hey, this card just bought X amount of boxes of shoes.
Great question. So Nike outlets, actually, the manager. So technically, at a Nike outlet, you're not allowed to buy a certain, you can't buy more than 10 pairs, I think.
Okay.
And that's the other thing. This isn't a diss at his father or anything, but for some reason, the article really needed to point out that his father had a slightly below
IQ?
Average carpenter business. I don't know why they
slightly below.
he was basically saying it was
It was a
A
B-list carpenter.
non flourishing business is what he meant.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it wasn't popping off. Not everybody wanted a new cool door, but I had no idea. I was like, okay, that's weird. Boy, just throwing shade at everybody.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
But so you could tell from that scenario, okay, the mom making money, dude.
Hell yeah.
VP of sales, VP of Nike. I mean, at North American Nike, you're making money, and now the kid's making money. And I think the other thing too is maybe during a pandemic, that revenue for sneakers didn't really get a hit like a grocery store did, like a Walmart did. You know, during the pandemic, for the most part, maybe the first, 3 or 4 months, but once that first stimmy check hit, oh shit! And once the Last Dance episode dropped, sneakerheads were throwing cash at StockX.
And it's also the fact that the government's giving you the money that you're supposed to make plus 600
exactly. So they were like, screw it, dude, I got $600, right?
Yeah, to throw away.
So yeah, so this kid was still bringing in money, but at the end of the day, Nike gets wind of this, and they fire her. And I think we can all agree they fired her, but she's a VP. You can't just fire a VP when you're that high up. They're gonna tell you, look, we need you to resign.
That's why he resigned,
and that's why she resigned. And it wasn't like a week later; it was like literally the next day. That article was, boom. Hi, Ann Herbert is resigning. Whoa. That's kind of quick.
She's resigning or she fucking dies.
I don't think they want to quit her because if you fire them, don't they have to give her a severance package?
Yeah.
They were like, no, you made $250,000 last month.
Your son's rich. Just ask him for money.
Yeah, ask him. But I don't even know what that kid's doing now.
I mean, he probably still has an insane amount of.
I don't think he's reselling though. I don't know what he's doing.
What the fuck is he doing with?
I have no idea. And the other thing too is the kid.
Where's the warehouse?
Where's the warehouse? The other thing too is the kid didn't just have Nikes. He had Yeezys.
Yeah, I was reading that. I was like, he had Yeezys. Isn't that?
Yeah,
different?
and so that's the thing. But he was a prominent botter. He was using a lot of bots, and that's really where this story kind of leads us into, which is the next thing of reselling affects a lot of us, especially because it's not a face that you can put in. Like, there's a difference between our first scenario, right, where Lennon's looking for Pokemon cards. I have the Pokemon cards. He can look at me and say, no, and hate me, directly at me. But you can't hate an inanimate object that's a bot. And it's hard because with graphics cards and sneakers and even clothing, they have it costs so much money to bot, by the way. Unimaginable amounts to buy. Like, it's like $20,000 for the cheapest one. And even then it doesn't guarantee you. So you, on average, to bot, you need about $100,000 to get into that kind of a game. So it's big money, but that's why these dudes are upcharging so much, because they got to make their money back. They got to make the money back. They got to make at least $20,000 back from this bot. They got to make at least 5% off of 5% more than what they bought the shoes for, right? And each shoe's $190, $200. You're buying how much of those, right? So it really is one of those like crazy things. I don't get how people do that. Why would you want to do that? That's so much money.
They make crazy amount of money off of it.
But what do you think about that Ann Herbert situation?
I mean, I don't know what went through her head. She had to not know about it, unless her morals are just out of whack.
I think she knew, dude. I mean, $250,000. That's a lot of money for one individual person to bring.
It's not even that. I think it's the fact that it was like, you don't notice an X amount of dollars going out of your bank account in one sittings too.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's not over time.
It's not like $100,000 out over like a year. No, it's $100,000
there.
Boom, today, gone.
Are you either so inept or so rich to the point where you're like, oh, this is $100,000. I think I just bought something.
Well, I that's what I'm saying. I think they all knew.
They had to all know.
Definitely. because the dad signed the company over to his son when he turned 18, and obviously, the mom probably knew like he was selling shoes.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not that hard to I don't think it's that hard to believe that, but
That's just me. I was like, as a parent, uh, I mean, people are just raised different. That's just them.
you know,
But
but no, I definitely think. Do you think that Nike has the ability to combat reselling?
no,
You don't think so? You think it'll always be there?
I think reselling is always gonna be a thing. Reselling, maybe with bots, they could figure something out in the next year or two.
Mm-hmm.
But reselling is always gonna be a thing. There's no way reselling is not gonna be a thing. It's a prominent it's a there's prominent markets that people are gonna want to buy stuff. And hey, you're making 2 times its value. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
You
No,
can make people make livings off of this. So
Yeah.
it's always gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
You can never not combat. I mean, sure, maybe you could force people to only buy one at a time,
I don't
but
think Nike would ever do that.
but at the same time, I was reading something with with Joe Herbert,
Mhm.
whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah.
He got like a group of 15 people. You can get groups of people to all go at the same time and
Yeah. To
pay
buy.
and then pay them off.
Yeah, you bought. Yeah, that's called slots and reservations. It's like if I tell you, oh, I've got a bot. If I hit,
Hmm.
I'll charge your card, and then charge you a fee, and then I'll give you the shoe. Like that's all that is. Which is crazier. I think there's two ways I think to the solution. One, Nike make more shoes. Your graphics card company make more graphics cards.
They're always, well, for graphics cards it's easier because they're always gonna make.
Yeah, technically, hopefully over time, you'll eventually hit. But with like clothing, with shoes, they have to make more. But I
Mhm.
think Nike won't do that because they like this. Like that whole Ann Herbert thing, it put eyes on Nike, and that's free for them.
Yeah,
All they gotta do,
any press is good press.
all they gotta do is pretend to care. That's it. That's all they gotta do. By the end of the day, pretend to care, and you're good.
Mhm.
But the other solution is what Nike is saying they're trying to do, which is bot protection. But it's not like they need to develop new technology. Like, dude, we're there already. There are companies and sites that on their drops they'll ask you a question like, "Hey, what's the color orange?" And while that's happening, they have another question that the bots can't answer. So like, it's for manual users. Like if you see that question, obviously you can type in like orange. Boom, you're in the site. Buy the shoe. That's it. Nike can do that today. Will they do it?
Probably not.
Probably not because they don't want to. And the other thing too is like, I was listening to the Complex Sneaker podcast yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Complex. I actually really like those stuff.
Sponsor us one day.
Complex. I would love to get sponsored by you guys. You know, Joe Puma. That's the best goy. That's the best goy out there. Anyways, and they were talking with this guy Chris Vidal. It was one of the earliest episodes. I was rewatching it. Chris Vidal was the founder of Flight Club.
Okay.
And he's talking about Nike sneakers and kind of like the state of sneakers. He's like, you don't even need fucking managers anymore. All you need is somebody who used to work at a carnival to hand out a raffle ticket. He's like, that's all it is. He's like, before we used to have lines and lines of people, and you had to manage that line. You needed a manager, you needed bodyguards, you needed security. You had to make sure everybody was in line, behaving, and you allowed the sneaker to do the work. Because they're not there to see your ugly ass face. They're not there to see your store. They're there for the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So let them get the shoe. But he was like, but now with Nike, all it is, it's your you get on the app, whatever, you got like a minute or 2 minute window, and you just basically sit and pray. That's it. You put in your information, and then it takes all these numbers, all these accounts, and it raffles off to who wins. But the other thing that people do is, if I have 5 phones,
Mm-hmm.
that's 5 accounts. That's 5 chances. If I'm a botter, I've got 200 accounts. That's 200 options. So it's one of those things of, in reality, the only real way to combat it is put those questions there or just make more pairs. But Nike won't do that because there was a time where Jordan ones were sitting at Macy's shelves, which is actually kind of cool. I would have loved that. That'd be super cool to walk into a Macy's and
You see Jordan 1s everywhere.
just see Jordan ones everywhere. But they don't want that because they don't want to oversaturate the market. But it's like, look, you don't need to oversaturate the market, but at least bring half of the market.
Mm-hmm.
Make it like the Jordan 1, the Jordan 11 releases every year. They put out like over like 100,000 items of 1,000 in numbers. It put over 100,000
Mm-hmm.
SKUs for that one shoe.
Oh, okay.
So that's 100,000 pairs that you can go and buy. Not everyone is going to hit on it, but why they do this, I don't know. They want to make it instead. They want to make it like the Dior's, where it's $2,500. There's 12,000 pairs in the entire world, and only people who are buying it are rappers and clout chasers. And they wonder why about the fake market. Why are kids buying fake shoes? I don't know why Nike doesn't do it. It makes no sense. Like, what would you want? What would make you happier as a consumer? Because you buy Nike, you buy New Balances. You know how hard it is to get New Balance now,
Not fun.
right? You're
Not-
not even like
I'm
you're
not even into shoes.
Yeah.
At least to your extent, I'm not into shoes.
Remember, I actually told him how hard it is now to get Sambas.
That's my favorite shoe too.
Right. There was a shoe that it was sitting at outlets for like $30. Now they're $100.
I mean, I would pay $100 for Sambas.
Really?
I would pay like
Well,
80.
well, that is retail, huh?
80. I'd pay 80 for them.
Isn't that retail? What's retail for Sambas?
No, they're like 70.
Oh, okay.
That's like, but like even then, like I'm kind of iffy on it.
I'm
Like,
saying resale now is like $100 to $150.
yeah.
Like, come on, that's crazy. So, like, yeah, like, especially because you're not a person in this as much as I am. Like, what would make you happy as a consumer?
If like let's go to my example of graphics cards.
Yeah,
If they were to get rid of the bot market, which even then, I don't know how many of those people actually go through the bot system.
yeah, that's true.
Maybe they just actually just wait and wait and wait and wait.
Mhm.
Because like I could have waited in an outside line to the store I go to
Mhm.
to get my graphics card, but I went. It's funny because I went later the day because I wanted to pick up my PC because I was having issues with it. So I took it there for them to get it fixed, but it took them 4 days and they still haven't looked at my PC. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take it back. I'll fix it
Why? Because
myself.
they were dealing with the graphics cards.
No, they just said there was a long line for in terms of like people were trying to fix
Oh,
their computer
yeah.
because they have technicians that are separate from their salespeople.
Oh.
But they said it wrapped around the store, and then there's like this bridge area that went halfway past the bridge. That's at least
What
like
do you think? At least, what?
200 people waiting in line.
Like, what? Oh, it's like a mile long line then, huh?
Yeah, just to get these graphics cards that they're probably not gonna get.
That's insane.
And
And
so
So what would you want that company? Well, wait. Well, do you hold the company responsible
I don't
or the person reselling it responsible?
I hold the person reselling responsible. You don't need to sell it for that much money. You
That's
don't need to make a 5 times profit. You could I'll be happy to pay you 2 times its price. I'll be willing to pay $600.
Your graphics card is on StockX, right?
I'm 99% sure.
What's
me to check?
check? What is the lowest ask? What's the and let's see what the average price sale is. Because same goes for me. Like, I understand you want to make money. I have no problem with that. And I'm okay to pay 50 to a little, like $100 extra. Like, that's whatever, dude.
The lowest ask is 825. The highest bid is 795.
What?
And
Actually, that's not that close. That's actually pretty close.
That's for the lowest version of it,
What was
non TI, which is the cheapest version you can get for it. Which the retail price of that was $200.
So it's about $600 extra on that. Wow. Wait, so what was the average? What was the last sale for?
The last sale for that one. Let me
Yeah.
see.
What, in the thousands probably?
No, it was 825 or 828.
Is that one averaging about $800?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was
There's-
the highest? You know how it looked? Go to the peak on the graph. What was the most it sold for?
I have to log in. Just a second. I haven't logged in.
So, but for me, like, so, for anybody out there who's into sneakers, you guys might have heard about the Trophy Room Jordan 1s. They're basically a shoe that is a collaboration with Marcus Jordan, who's Michael Jordan's second son, and the Jordan brand. And the shoe retailed for $190 slash 170. I don't know why they're two different prices. Well, one was through Marcus Jordan, one was through Nike, so I guess different prices. But the whole fiasco again is the same thing of the backdooring. All somehow, some way, hundreds of pairs of this very limited shoe that was like 2,000 pairs went to famous resellers, guys like Benjamin Kicks, who literally have pictures of them stacked up with 100 pairs behind them in a wall. And that's the other problem with like reselling is like backdooring. Like, you don't even get it technically. Had I tried to buy it, the supposed $2,000 stock wasn't even there, because already half of it was backdoor to a bunch of other people.
Okay, so I found the high, and that was $900. And then that's the cheapest version. I mean,
That's the cheapest. Oh wait, what's the one you're looking for?
that's the one I'm looking for.
That's the one,
cheapest.
and it's $900.
The for this one, it's the TI version.
Jeez, dude.
It's the cheapest. It's the lowest version, but it's like it's better in some ways. Which
That's so crazy. That's insane.
the lowest ask is $1,239,
1,000.
and I'm pretty sure you could bought that for $500, which is not too bad, but it's still another $700 that you have to pay on top of it.
I don't get, like, yeah. So again, I think this best illustrates our point of. For the video version of this, I'm gonna actually probably put like a StockX picture, or try to, and maybe give some examples of what we mean in the sense of.
I mean, like, if you go into Best Buy and you look it up, you probably find most of it for like $600.
Yeah.
But it's sold out, obviously.
Yeah, it's sold out, but it tells you can look at the retail price and you're wondering who's paying. Let's say $1,200, $900 for it. Reselling. I don't know. It's hard. I think reselling in itself isn't bad. I think the practices as it gets higher and higher in the scaling and the bulk purchasing of items, yeah, it's gonna get harder, dude. And that's really it. And yeah, I mean, what are your final thoughts on it? Like,
fuck resellers. No, I mean, it's a job for people.
Yeah, you can't knock it. It's a job.
You can't knock it. It's the fact that people bought it. It's the fact that people do. What were you saying? Slot?
Yeah, slot reservations.
Slot
and stuff
reservation.
Like that. Yeah.
It's just the shitty practices that come along with it.
Mm-hmm. Like,
that fuck everything up.
I knew reselling was shit when people were reselling Kobe shoes.
Yeah.
The day after he dies, by the way, there's no offense to Kobe, may he rest in peace, and Gigi, sadly gone too soon. But the point is, Kobe's were not were were not revered sneakers like a Jordan or at
You-
times a LeBron.
Yeah, you had the Grinches,
You know,
and that's pretty
like
much
how much
it.
were the Grinches?
$400.
$400, right? Boom, they out $1,000. Even Kobe's that were kind of like $500, $600, and you're kind of thinking like, dude, jerseys for Kobe's went up, mad crazy. And I'm not a Lakers fan. Actually, my fondest memories of Kobe are when I hated watching him play, watching him and hating him because he was such a monster on the court. Because I grew up a Celtics fan. So
Get
yeah,
the fuck off the podcast.
hey,
Get the fuck out of
at least I
California.
like Boston. Get out of my way, right?
Yeah, at least you stick to one side.
At least I
you
stick
don't-
to the only team Boston doesn't have an NFL team, so only that's
I do.
why. They don't.
Oh, you have New England.
Yeah, well, New England Patriots, but see, oh yeah, wait, that's the city or province? Is New
What?
England a province?
Province. Is it?
I don't. I don't know.
I'm not gonna
no
check
matter
this.
what,
I'm not
my
gonna check this.
mind blanked out. Yeah, there is the New England Patriots, but my first game was a Steelers game, so I love Pittsburgh.
You got Juju. Yeah, you got Juju back. Juju on that beat.
At long, no, he does not juju on anything anymore. His ass needs to sit down and stop doing TikTok dances.
Corvette.
Have you seen? Oh, by the way, if anyone hasn't, you guys gotta watch the meme of him dancing on the Bengals.
Oh, and then you get shit rocked.
and then the next, what do you call it? The next downs, just getting manhandled by the defense. Like not even like playfully, like
he gets
they
he gets
were-
his shit rocked and he loses the
they
football.
were out for blood. They went. This dude danced on our logo.
The only thing that
Shakes
went
come
harder
out.
than that was Baker Mayfield putting the. Have you seen Baker Mayfield with the Oklahoma flag and he puts it right in the middle of the O for Ohio, and then
But that's
Tyrell Owens was a 49er spiking the ball in the middle of the Cowboys field.
there. We need to have a talk about some of our favorite disrespectful sports moments, because I mean in NBA too there are some moments where these guys say some dirty shit on the court, dude.
We have the Allen Iverson step over Tyronn Lue.
Like Kevin Garnett one time yelled out to some kid on the court. He's like, "Your wife tastes like strawberries,"
What the f-
or he said, "Your wife tastes like waffles." Who says that?
fucking Kevin Garnett apparently.
That's some psychological warfare. Not only that, not only does the dude find out that, like, not only is the dude getting like hit with some insults, but he has to find out his wife's cheating on him with Kevin Garnett,
Damn, that's pretty. That goes
who he
hard,
is then
dude.
playing.
That goes pretty hard.
Kevin Garnett, whole nother level of disrespect on that game. But no, yeah, and but they were doing that, dude, with Kobe shoes, dude. Just I don't know, like I was just like, that's mad crazy. That's kind of why I found some respect for Nike and a lot of
When they stop
a
selling.
lot of these companies, because yeah, they went, look, we're gonna pull all all Kobe related products from anywhere, and it's not getting sold because people were running into Dick's, to Big Five, there any jersey place that you can find, and a lot of like mom and pop shops too pulled down the stuff because they're saying people were coming in buying by the bulk. They didn't care what the price was. They were tearing it down and like, we're buying all of this, and it was being resold for thousands of dollars on the market. And I don't know, man. There seems to be no morals in reselling, but
I mean, you kind of have to be cutthroat like that.
yeah, you
Into it.
you gotta be cutthroat to be in that market. You can't care about feelings. But, anyways, I think that is our time for today. So, again, thank you guys for joining us here on the Dos Leches podcast. For the video, those watching on video, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. This
Tell
is a-
us whether or not we should keep doing this.
Yeah, this is a
'Cause
test.
I could hear I could hear the wind obviously going through. If that's an
Yeah.
issue, we
Well-
could probably go back to.
If anything, we could try one indoor. We'll do since this one's outdoor. If we want, we could try one indoor, like in where we usually do our podcast, which is our garage.
Yeah.
And again, just we could keep trying to.
I mean, we could
Push this
also. Now that I think
forward.
about it, we could like get like a curtain, just like cover it out.
Outside?
No, inside.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah,
to cover
yeah.
the back. Just have a backdrop and just leave it like that.
Yeah, like the Gus and Eddie show. Shout out Gus and Eddie.
I love Gus.
We love Gus Johnson on this podcast.
I met him. I shook his hand and I hugged him.
Fuck Lennon.
I'm better than you.
Lennon touched the hat of the closest person to God. But, well, actually, I don't know.
I have the picture still.
Yeah, he
It's
still
so
has the
good.
picture.
It's so good.
He's not going to let anyone forget it.
Nope.
But,
Great
yeah.
man. I love you, Gus Johnson. Please come on the podcast.
Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe for us. If you're this will be on YouTube, at least a video. But if you're on any other podcast, we are on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and basically for the most part, any podcast, any place that allows podcasts. And thank you guys for being with us. We are here every Tuesday at 7 a.m. is when we post the videos. So please come to the channels, watch, join us, and of course, always leave some listener suggestions. We only have so much we can think of because of our ADHD.
Because we think of something and then it
We forget it.
disappears. And then I'll think of something and then I get food and then I think of food and then
we
I don't
forget
think
it.
about
But no, most definitely. So again, like, share, comment, and remember, this is a Dose Lashes podcast, the perfect mixture between cream, cinnamon, and stupidity. But your job is to pick which one's cream and which one's cinnamon.
Now that
Thank you,
you've seen
guys.
us, you can
Now
tell.
that you guys have seen us, it makes it even easier. Thank you guys for being with us today. We'll catch you guys next Tuesday.